News Radio 680 WPTF. Hi there. My name is Scott Fitzgerald, and you are listening to That Cancer Show. It's a service of the Cornucopia Cancer Support Center in Durham. And joining me, as always, Mary Lawrence. Hi, Mary.
Hi. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great. Good to have you in the studio. And it's our new format. We're still kind of getting used to 30 minutes, aren't we?
Yes, we are. But that means we just have to, talk faster and get right to the important points.
That's right. Go right for the meat. We'll leave the peas on the side of the plate for the time being, okay? If you want to check out the website, Cornucopia's website, it's cancersupportforyou.org. That's where we're going to put the podcast, so you can click on That Cancer Show, the tab there at the top of the page. You're also going to find information about Cornucopia's oncology support services right there on the website. If you want, you can call. I'll give this number out several times throughout the program, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, 919-401-9333. I'm not afraid of needles, but you brought one, Mary.
I did bring some needles. Well, they're in my purse, so don't panic.
I believe me, I won't. I think I know where you're going tonight, and I'm excited.
Well, yeah, we're going to be talking about needling and needlies and needlers, but more specifically about acupuncture. Mm-hmm. It's a centuries-old therapy that has enhanced the quality of life for many people, especially those who are in cancer treatment. And it's been used in the United States for over 200 years and finally got legitimate attention among the Western medical community in the mid-1970s. And research over the last 20 years supports what's been known elsewhere for thousands of years, mm-hmm. and that is it works.
Exactly
yes.
Right. Exactly right.
Well, in the 90s, the FDA approved the acupuncture needle as a medical device to be used by licensed practitioners. And North Carolina is one of more than 40 states that have acupuncture regulations, but there's more to be done. And tonight we're going to learn a lot more about acupuncture from two very special guests. The first is Dave Peters. He's a licensed acupuncturist and co-founder of Long Life Wellness Center in Cary. He's also president of the North Carolina Association of Acupuncture and Oriental Medicine. And Dave is an active member of the acupuncture community advocating for legislation in this field. And to share her firsthand experiences with acupuncture to help her deal with cancer treatment side effects is a communications executive, Sharon Delaney McLeod of Raleigh. So welcome to both of you.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you.
Well, let's start with the basics, okay? So a couple of months ago, we did a program about the advantages of acupuncture, particularly for those who are in cancer treatment. So, David, please remind us what acupuncture is and how it works.
Well, that is quite a loaded question. I could sit here for days, but I'll try to sum it up as best I can concisely. Acupuncture is one branch of traditional Chinese medicine. There are others as well. There's herbology, massage, which is called Tui Na or Anmo. There's dietary therapy, nutrition. And then there's also Qigong and Tai Chi, which are meditations and a form of exercise as well. Very simply, acupuncture is the insertion of needles in the body to initiate a therapeutic effect. When someone has extensive training, like a licensed acupuncturist does, it works quite well. How it works, we don't know exactly. There's still a lot of mystery around it. However, we do know that it taps into the body's own innate intelligence and helps to function better, and it helps the body to function better in many ways. It seems to have a regulating and a rebooting effect on the major systems of the body. For instance, if a certain hormone is too high in the body, acupuncture tends to lower it. And also, if the hormone is too low, a different one, it tends to raise it. So it has a regulating effect, a modulating effect on the body. It also helps to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and repair and digest system. And with our crazy, stressed out lives, especially cancer patients, because they have their normal everyday stress, and then they have the stress of being a cancer patient. So it really helps to activate that parasympathetic nervous system to help get out of the sympathetic nervous system of flight or fight. So in essence, it helps the body to help itself.
Which is the goal of all of it, is to get out of our own way and allow our body to do what it's supposed to do. Why doesn't the needle hurt? Because I've had acupuncture done before, and it doesn't hurt at all. And everybody says, "Oh my God, you can't go do that because it's going to hurt." But it doesn't. Why doesn't it hurt?
Well, we use a tube, and the tube is slightly shorter than the actual needle. Now, what we do is we tap it in at a high velocity. Now, what that does is it goes through the very thin layer of skin that has proprioceptors and nociceptors, which are how you feel things. Once it actually passes through that barrier, you don't actually feel very much sensation.
Yeah, I've noticed that. It's like you feel, something happened, but there's no pain at all. Sharon, so you've been going through acupuncture as you go through your treatment. What kind of impact has it had on you as you go through, for example, chemotherapy?
I will tell you that it has been life-altering in a good way, in many good ways, honestly. I started chemotherapy. I was diagnosed with, they haven't decided if it's stage 2 or stage 3 breast cancer until they surgically remove some of the tissues in the lymph nodes where there was cancer, and to know how extensive it is. So we're not sure yet until next week, actually, whether it's 2 or 3. Either way, it had progressed. And so I started chemotherapy right away. And it was a 5-month protocol. The first 2 months were really intense and kind of the things that you hear about, and everyone knows someone who's had cancer, but the sort of common side effects that you hear about with cancer treatment did in fact occur in those first 2 months. The nauseousness, the fatigue. The fatigue is so overwhelming, it's ridiculous. It's the flu 10 times over, and you just don't want to get out of bed. But you keep soldiering on and making, you got to live life. I had to work full time through it, so I just had to keep getting up and go. So after the first 2 months, the process of the chemotherapy medicines they were giving me shut down my ovaries. And I don't know how detailed we want to get here, but I think for anyone who's...
Whatever will help our listeners understand your situation.
Yes, most of the time when women are treated for breast cancer as well as any other reproductive organ cancer, they usually shut down your ovaries. My particular cancer is fed by estrogen. Ovaries make estrogen. So they needed to shut off my ovaries so that it will not produce the food that the cancer was eating. So as a result, I was sent into immediate menopause. And it's a bit early for me to reach menopause naturally, but it immediately sent me into menopause, which brought on hot flashes. The hot flashes led to insomnia and just a lot of discomfort. And so insomnia leads to just being in a terrible mood. Just ask my husband. So I told this to my oncologist, and she said, there's some really great studies talking about acupuncture being able to reduce those hot flashes. Right. And I said, I'm in.
Right. Bring it
I am
on.
in. And she was thinking, oh, you may not like to hear. I'm like, oh, no. I did acupuncture 10 years ago to help me get pregnant with my 3rd child. It works. I know it works. I just hadn't thought of doing it because I was going to so many doctors so often, adding one more. Anyhow, I said, David, I'm coming to see you. And oh my goodness, it has completely changed everything. Not only the hot flashes have minimized significantly, which now allows me to sleep, but also I had started to experience neuropathy, which is a tingling, numbness, and pain in the extremities. People with diabetes have this and other conditions as well, but cancer treatment, chemotherapy can also do that. And I was starting to get a lot of that in my hands and in my feet. I told this to David on one of my visits to see him. He did one treatment specifically for that. The neuropathy stopped.
Wow.
And it has not come back.
Wow. That's amazing. Can't wait to dig into more of this because you're giving me chills. You're listening to That Cancer Show. It's a service of the Cornucopia Cancer Support Center in Durham, and we're talking with licensed acupuncturist David Peters with the Long Life Wellness Center and communications executive Sharon Delaney McLeod, who receives acupuncture for cancer treatment side effects. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, more here on News Radio 680 WPTF.